Welcome back to our weekly walkthrough, where we bring the above, below, talk about the transits you should know. So this is the week of January 5th through the 11th, and we are in the land of the broken phone as well, so we'll see how well I manage to make this work. But we start off our week with the Child of Staves reversed. And as a theme of the week, this is really about recognizing that we didn't know as much as we thought we did. That we kind of have to accept that there's a lot of things that once were clear that now are not. And partly this is due to the Venus and Mars Cazimis with the Sun, which is kind of a purification reset point. We get clarity when they're at the heart of the Sun, and then there's confusion on either side. And so with this, I want you to try to embrace beginner's mind and to not resist the recognition that there's still more to learn. On Monday, we don't have much going on. We just have the Leo moon trining Chiron in Aries, and Chiron is now direct. With that, we have the Five of Coins reversed. This is a card of trying to remember how to keep the faith when the bad times don't stop. And when they do, when you start to get a reprieve, when you start to feel better, to find a way to believe that the bad times aren't going to come back. And if they do, they're not going to be the same, because nothing is ever the same. Can't step in the same river twice vibes. And on Monday, I just want you to keep perspective on that. And in particular, look at the Leo area of your chart where the moon is, and think about where you can get that Leoan confidence to carry you through the rest of the week. Now on Tuesday, that same moon, just after 6 a.m., is going to square Uranus in Taurus. And there's a frustrating kind of gear grinding start to the day with that. That could be waking up and not feeling so great. But then a couple hours later, at 9:35 a.m., we have the Venus-Sun Cazimi. And then shortly after that, the moon moves into Virgo. And we have the kettle reversed here. And this makes me think that whatever clarity comes, there could be a frustration around it and a desire to talk about it, to share it, to, serve everybody tea. But I would highly encourage you to just sit with it. Whatever you realize about the Venusian in your life and that clarity, look for the Libra and Taurus sectors of your chart to see what that Cazimi Venus is going to be ruling. But let it go slow, because Venus is in Capricorn. This is something that needs to be processed and digested and reconsidered and restructured. Even if you get that inspiration and that moment where you're like, oh, I still want you to go slow with it. From there, we move into Wednesday. And I feel like this is part of why it's no, but really go slow. Because on Wednesday, we have the Virgo moon is going to trine Mercury at 1 a.m. And so for some of you, this will be Tuesday, late at night. And then the moon is going to oppose the North Node. Then we're going to have a trine to the Sun and to Mercury and to Mars. Venus will conjunct Mars. And it feels a little bit dramatic. It's oh, we have to do everything. It's a very busy Mercury day. And with that, we have our sword juggler. This is the Seven of Swords, which is often a card of trickery, theft, lying, moving without being noticed. But this feels, particularly with all of the positive aspects to Capricorn planets right now, it feels more like you're putting on a show. It's here's what I've learned, here's what I'm thinking, here's what I'm doing, this is what I'm going to do with other people's resources, and we're going to make it a little song and dance. And so this can be hiding in plain sight energy. This can be being clever enough to get done what you need to done, Like, get done what you need to do, even when others interrupt, even when there are issues, by being a little diversionary and also bringing in some of that shrewd cleverness in a playful way to let you get away with it and to let you feel better about it. Now, when we move over to Thursday, we have Mercury in the node talking, we have the moon opposing Saturn and trining Uranus, then opposing Neptune before moving into Libra and trining Pluto. And Thursday feels heavier. There is some consequence from Wednesday. We have our Three of Swords. There is some grief. And then we have our High Priestess, which is like, all right, enter into the yin, sit through it. This is not grief that is meant to be rushed. It's going to take time. And I'm going to acknowledge, with the current headlines, I'm expecting more of them this week. I'm expecting more moves, more news, and more reasons to grieve. So be prepared. Do what you need to take care of yourself and others. And give yourself space. This isn't something that can be rushed. On Friday, at 4:41 a.m. Mountain Time, we have the Sun-Mars Cazimi. And really, we're kind of feeling the Cazimi with Venus, the Sun, and Mars like all on top of each other for like the whole week. That's really the theme of this week. And then we also have Venus opposing Jupiter at 10:34 a.m. and then the moon squaring Mercury. And this is our Six of Swords reverse. And it can feel like, this is deep breath on here, and it can feel breathless. It can feel like, oh, this is really what's going on with these conflicts. This is really what's going on with these attacks. This is really why I am stressing. And then for this one, you're going to be looking at the Aries and Scorpio sectors of your chart, as well as obviously Capricorn. Like wherever the Cazimi is happening, you'll get prime information, but the quality of the planet being clarified is going to point you to the signs they rule. And like the Venus and Jupiter opposition does feel a little like, I know people are normally like double benefic action is positive, but to me this feels more like a challenge between the marginalized and belief structures and power. So it's like what wins? And I will say Jupiter is stronger here, which may not necessarily be a good thing depending on whatever the dominant philosophy is, but in your personal life, we're still in that grief and we're still trying to slow down and just catch our breath with everything and get clarity, which is good because on Saturday, we get the Sun-Jupiter opposition, the Mars-Jupiter opposition, and then the moon squares Jupiter, Mars, the Sun, and Venus, and opposes Chiron. And the cards are like, look, we're doing our bathtub hermit. Like, just try to take as much space as you can Saturday. Saturday is a lot. And again, we have insights, but we also have a lot of friction. We have a lot of frustration. We have a lack of ease. And so any self-care you can do, any remediative actions, anything to bolster your body and spirit, but solo and relying on the philosophies that have served you well, that's what I really want you to focus on Saturday. And Sunday, the moon drops into fall in Scorpio. Then Venus is going to square Chiron and the moon is going to square Pluto. And this Sunday feels like we have the Hand of the Hunter reversed and rewritten history reversed. And this feels like being really honest about what is what, whose stuff is whose, and being very shrewd with misinformation. Like there's gonna be a lot of stuff that comes out collectively, and it's not all gonna be true. And you need to try to find true north right now and try to be really clear about your own needs and about the needs of others. All right? Happy week, y'all. Best of luck.